1, 2, 3, 4. Way down, Hadestown, way down under the ground. Way down, under the ground.
Andre and I got to know each other first really through the workshopping process for HADESTOWN, and it coincided with actually talking. As the artistic director, I run also a small experimental ensemble, the team, and I was trying to think about which project, whether it was HADESTOWN or a show that the company was making that I was talking to Andre about, that he said this, but I'm going to say it was HADESTOWN for these purposes. It was a delicate conversation as to whether Andre would sign up for the show. Because that is no small decision, right, is how you spend your time and where you spend your time. And Andre said to me, I think about whether this room needs me. And I thought that was such a profound thing to say and was the counterpoint to what Andre talked about in his speech on Sunday night, which is go into rooms where people's eyes light up when they see you. There is a symbiosis of energy that is very, very deep. And I think that the self-fulfilling prophecy of the energy that you bring into the world and the rigor that you expect back from the world is so profound, and it has lifted HADESTOWN both higher and lower. You took a show that was already well on its way, and a part that had already begun becoming sort of the most complicated and in some ways the most important part, because Hermes is the storyteller of HADESTOWN. And so that role needs to carry a great deal. And you made it celestial. And a friend who is one of the most beautiful dancers I know, she said afterwards, she's like, I learned, I think, a grad school's worth of education from watching how you descend the 2 steps from the perch where Hermes tells a lot of the story to the floor where he is a part of the story, and the elegance with which you do that. And there are just so many words that come to brain when I think of you, and one of them is meticulous, and one of them is lascivious. And thank God, because you are this remarkable synthesis alongside Mary Louise of downtown proper, by which I mean individual, uncontainable, raunchy, and uptown, the sheen, the craft of being able to create that so that people can receive you and thus receive the story. And I'm thinking about Anais told, she called me when we were mid-development of HADESTOWN while she was touring, because she had played a show at the University of Wisconsin. And I actually had to contact Andre to find out if this was true, because she found this brochure that was talking about sort of performance legacy at the University of Wisconsin, and it described a midnight production of Peter Pan that had happened in, I'm going to say, the late 60s. And it sounded like maybe some psychedelics were consumed over the course of this performance. And it certainly was not the only time that an audience saw Andre in all of his glory, according to this description. So it's just, you contain multitudes, and you are, I think most importantly to the HADESTOWN community, you have accepted your responsibility as elder. And that is a word that you have used. And that is a very sacred word, I think. And one that comes with both modeling and being so fierce in your own artistry that you are fed by others and yet simultaneously dependent on them and so clear in yourself that others can fall in behind you. And I'm going to quote Amber Gray, actually, who said this, because she said it better than I did, which is, he owns his own divinity, which is, I think, a really special thing. And it's why, led by Yvette, the whole HADESTOWN ensemble now has hats that say, Andre de Shields is my stage mate.
She's gonna ride that train.
Ride that train.
Gonna ride that train.
Ride that train.
Gonna ride that train to the end of the line. 'Cause the king of the mine is coming to call. If you ever wonder what it's like on the underside.
Way down under.
On Sunday, I spoke specifically to Baltimore, Maryland, where I was born and reared as one of 11 children. Baltimore today is known as the murder capital of the United States of America. And it was so important for me to say to them that Baltimore has to be known for more than just murder. And although it took me 73 years to be the symbol of the hope that could be Baltimore, I considered it an honor and a privilege to be able to say on national television, Baltimore, we have arrived. And we have a reputation that we don't want to precede us. And I am happy to be crucified on that cross if it makes a difference. Having grown up with 10 siblings, and we are now down to 3, I felt so fortunate that HADESTOWN opened on April 17th, because on April 18th we had a day off, and that was my sister's 76th birthday. So I spent that day in Baltimore. And I said to her, and my only surviving brother, this is the last opportunity that I'm going to have to even be considered for a Tony Award. Not because I'm going to die or anything like that, but because I'm feeling the universe is conspiring with me to receive it. And I want one of you to be there. Either Mary, my sister, 76, or John, my brother, 80. Neither one is in the kind of health to have made that trip. So in terms of the legacy that getting these kinds of awards mean, I called Vinnie Burroughs and asked her if I might escort her to the Tony Awards, because it completes an intergenerational picture of what this industry is all about. I'm working with individuals who are young enough to be my grandchildren. Bonnie Burroughs is the next piece in the puzzle between now and becoming an ancestor. She wouldn't mind my saying she has celebrated her 95th birthday. My girlfriend is 95 years old. And I didn't want that to go wasted on anyone who might have wondered why I was with this icon, because she comes from the school of Harry Belafonte. James Baldwin. You know the people I'm talking about. So I don't feel like a cosmic orphan, but I do feel as if I'm being orphaned from my blood family. And I didn't find a surrogate family until I became a member of HADESTOWN. And I'm so happy, finally, to be in a situation where my elegance and grace and erudition is accepted as part of the band that I am, as opposed to in contradiction to the race that people see first. I am a man, a race man, because when I grew up, we were always told, whatever you do, whatever you say, wherever you go, whatever you wear, you are representing the race. And now I'm with a group of people where race hardly matters. And I still feel that I'm representing. I appreciate that. I also appreciate that the man whose name is on this award is sitting, looking at me, as if to say, I've been waiting for you to arrive. Thank you, Mr. Seff. There was so much I wanted to say when I received the Tony Award. Of course, 90 seconds. So I chose to say what I did. And apparently, it resonated for a lot of people. But what was foremost in my mind? I wanted to say to the world at large, I believe the universe recreates itself for our pleasure. And as we say in HADESTOWN, if you don't take too much, there's enough for everybody. The rule that I follow is only pursue the blessing that has your name written on it. And today, I stand as evidence to that truism. I don't pursue anything except those blessings that read. Andre the Sheep. I've been waiting for an opportunity to say thank you to the Actors Equity Association, the foundation today, and its philanthropy. The 50 years that I've spent as a member of Actors Equity Association, I have felt like the beneficiary of philanthropy, because equity has created an atmosphere of dignity and integrity in which I could pursue the profession that I chose and the profession that chose me. I also believe that the redemption of the world is in the hands of artists. We have the power, we have the craft, and we have the desire to be the change in the world that we want to see. And I consider myself as one of the tireless warriors to make sure that change happens. Thank you very much for recognizing me.
Mr. Hades is a mean old boss.
with a silver whistle and a golden scale. An eye for an eye,
And he raised the cost.
a lie for a lie.
Sold for sale.
Sold to the king on the chromium throne. Thrown to the bottom of the Sing Sing
The
cell.
little wheel squeal and the big wheel roll.
And you better forget about your wishing well. Way down, HADESTOWN, way down underground.
All aboard! A one, a two, 3, 4.
Way down, HADESTOWN.